Most people live their lives on autopilot. Wake up, check their phone, scroll through social media, go through the motions, work, eat, sleep, repeat. No fire, no clarity, no real direction, just reacting to whatever life throws at them. That's not living. That's existing. And you weren't built to just exist. You were built to lead, to build, to create, to dominate. And it all starts with how you think. Because the truth is, the way you think determines the way you move. And the way you move determines what kind of life you build. You want to stand out in a world full of noise. You want to actually become someone in a world where most people are just drifting? Then you got to think different. You got to move different. This ain't about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. It's about not following the crowd just because it's easy. It's about questioning the way you've been doing things and choosing a smarter, stronger, and more intentional way to live. You see, average minds think in circles. Strategic minds think in lines. They don't just go around and around, repeating the same patterns, hoping for different results. They build systems. They build discipline. They build results that speak for themselves. And that mindset, it's rare. Most people don't want to slow down and plan. Most people don't want to ask hard questions about their life, their energy, their priorities, because facing the truth is uncomfortable. But strategic thinkers, they don't run from discomfort. They study it. They learn from it. They use it as fuel. That's why they move different. While others are busy reacting to life, strategic thinkers are designing it. They're 2, 5, even 10 steps ahead. Not because they're lucky, but because they chose to be. They chose to stop letting emotions run the show. They chose to stop waiting for the perfect time. They chose to stop chasing validation. And they chose to focus on what really matters. Let's make something clear right now. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have a billion-dollar idea or a 5-year plan carved into stone. But you do need direction. You do need awareness. You do need to wake up every day with intention. That means taking ownership of your thoughts, of your habits, of your schedule, of your energy. You gotta look in the mirror and say, I'm not just here to exist. I'm here to evolve. That's what thinking different is really about. It's not about being weird or trying to stand out for attention. It's about operating from a higher level of awareness. It's about asking, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is this helping me or holding me back? Where is this decision leading me a year from now? Those questions change everything. Because when you start asking smarter questions, you start getting better answers. And those better answers, they lead to better actions. And those actions, they build the life you want, piece by piece, step by step. Now, let me say this. Thinking different isn't always easy. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means skipping comfort for growth. It means being misunderstood, even criticized, for not following the crowd. But that's the cost of building a life with purpose. That's the price of greatness. And honestly, it's worth it. Because when you move different, you stop playing small. You stop living for the weekend. You stop wasting time on stuff that doesn't matter. You become intentional with your days. You build structure around your goals. You protect your peace, your time, and your vision. And over time, you'll notice something. You're not overwhelmed anymore. You're not stuck. You're not running in circles trying to figure it all out. Why? Because you thought different. So you could move different. And now, life starts to open up in ways it never did before. You're no longer chasing. You're creating. You're no longer surviving. You're building. You're no longer reacting. You're leading. That's the power of this mindset. So if you're listening to this right now, understand this isn't just motivation. This is your wake-up call. You have the ability to change your life. But it won't come from doing what everyone else is doing. It won't come from waiting, wishing, or whining. It'll come when you shift your mind, when you choose to think like a leader, when you choose to act with strategy, when you choose to move with purpose. You don't need permission. You just need vision and the courage to move different. Let today be the day you stop drifting. Let today be the day you decide. Let's be real for a second. Most people out here are just trying to survive. They're not chasing greatness. They're not aiming high. They're not stepping up. They're just getting by. Wake up, go to work, do the bare minimum, go home, scroll on their phone, sleep, repeat. And you know what? That's not living. That's existing. That's being in survival mode. Survival mode is where dreams go to die. It's where you convince yourself that average is okay, that playing small is safer, that just getting through the day is enough. But here's the truth. You weren't built to survive. You were built to win. And I'm not talking about being better than anyone else. I'm talking about becoming the best version of you. The version of you that walks into a room with quiet confidence. The version of you that doesn't just accept what life hands out, but goes out and takes what's theirs. That switch from survive to win, that's when everything starts to change. Winners think different. They walk different. They move with intention. They're not out here waiting for luck or permission. They show up every single day with fire in their eyes. And when life throws punches, they don't fold, they rise. You gotta stop treating your goals like side hobbies. You gotta stop acting like you've got all the time in the world. You don't. If you want something bad enough, you gotta start moving like it. You gotta start thinking like a winner, not a victim. You gotta stop saying I hope and start saying I will. Winners study the game. They prepare. They execute. They don't just play to keep up. They play to dominate. They don't back down just because it gets hard. They lean into the hard. They use it. Survivors say, I'll try. Winners say, watch me. Big difference. Let me tell you this. Playing to win doesn't mean you never fail. It means you're willing to fail forward. It means you use the loss. You learn from it. You grow from it. Because that's the only way you get better. You don't grow in your comfort zone. You grow when you push yourself beyond what feels easy. You grow when you show up, even when nobody's clapping, even when you're tired, even when you feel like quitting. And listen, playing to win isn't just about career or money or success. It's about your mindset, your discipline, your energy, your habits. It's about waking up and saying, I'm not here to repeat yesterday. I'm not here to be average. I'm here to do something with this life. When you stop settling for survival, you start setting higher standards. You start cutting out distractions. You stop wasting time on people who drain your energy. You stop saying yes to things that don't serve your mission. You protect your peace. You guard your goals. You get focused. That's what playing to win looks like. And yeah, it's not always glamorous. It's early mornings. It's late nights. It's sacrifices. It's saying no to comfort so you can say yes to greatness. But here's the payoff. When you start showing up like a winner, life starts treating you different. Opportunities come your way. People respect your grind. You start building momentum. You start becoming someone you're proud of. Because let's be honest, deep down, you don't want to live a small, safe life. You don't want to wonder what if for the rest of your days. You want to know you gave it everything. You want to feel that fire. That fire starts when you decide to stop playing not to lose and start playing to win. So ask yourself today, am I surviving or am I thriving? Am I coasting or am I climbing? Am I reacting or am I leading? Because you've got something in you that's powerful. You've got untapped potential, but it's not going to unlock itself. You've got to show up for it. You've got to train your mind to push when it wants to quit. You've got to remind yourself who you are and what you're here to do. Every day, without apology. You're not here to take orders from fear. You're not here to keep your head down. You're here to level up. So stop playing defense. Stop making excuses. Stop hiding from your own greatness. Step up. Play bold. Think big. Move smart. And show the world what it looks like to walk like a winner. Because when you play to win, everything changes. And you're just getting started. Let's be real. Most people are stuck in short-term thinking. They want results now. They want success without the struggle. They want rewards without putting in the time. And that's exactly why they lose. The people who win in life, the ones who truly level up, they think long game. They're not just living for the next weekend, the next paycheck, the next dopamine hit. They're playing to build something that lasts. They're not chasing applause. They're chasing legacy. Because here's the truth. Anything that's real, anything that's meaningful, Anything that's worth it takes time. Period. There's no way around that. You can't shortcut character. You can't microwave greatness. You have to build it, brick by brick. And that takes vision. That takes patience. That takes you being able to see beyond the noise of now and lock in on the future you're creating. Thinking long game means you're not always chasing instant gratification. You're making decisions today that your future self will thank you for. You go to the gym even when you don't feel like it, not for how it looks in a week, but because you're building a body and mind that won't break under pressure. You save money and invest wisely, not to flex, but because you want freedom down the line, real freedom. You stay consistent with your goals, even when no one's watching, even when progress is slow, because you understand that every seed takes time to grow. But here's the part nobody talks about. Long game thinking is lonely. It's hard. It's quiet. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means discipline over impulse. It means seeing beyond today's distractions and choosing what really matters. That takes strength. That takes vision. That takes maturity. Anyone can chase what feels good right now. That's easy. But real power, real strength, it's in choosing what's right over what's easy. You've got to start asking yourself, what do I want 5 years from now? 10 years? What kind of person do I want to become? What kind of life do I want to live? And then, start acting like it right now. Because your habits today are building your tomorrow. Every choice is a vote for the future you. The foods you eat, the content you consume, the people you spend time with, the work you do when nobody's watching. That's the compound interest of life. Most people underestimate what they can do in 5 years and overestimate what they can do in 5 minutes. They give up when it doesn't happen instantly. They switch paths the second it gets hard. They start and stop and start and stop and wonder why nothing sticks. But you're not most people. You're different. You understand that delay doesn't mean denial. That slow progress is still progress. That the roots are growing even if the fruit isn't showing. Thinking long game means trusting the process, and more importantly, trusting yourself. It means you don't need constant validation. You don't need overnight results. You just need to keep showing up, keep planting, keep building. Because winners aren't built in a moment. They're built in seasons of consistency. You want to build a powerful life. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop asking how fast. Start asking how strong. Start asking how solid, how sustainable, how true to you. That's how you build something that lasts. Long game thinking doesn't just change your results. It changes who you are. It shifts your mindset from being reactive to being strategic. It teaches you patience. It teaches you resilience. It helps you stay focused when everyone else is distracted. And trust me, in a world full of people chasing trends, the person who thinks long-term is dangerous. They don't flinch when things take time. They don't fold when it gets hard, because they know it's all part of the process. So here's the challenge. Are you building for now, or are you building for forever? Are you just chasing moments, or are you creating momentum? Are you showing up only when it's easy, or are you locked in even when it's not? Because the long game rewards the consistent, the committed, the focused, the ones who are willing to be patient in a world that's addicted to speed. So think long game. Think legacy. Think about becoming so solid, so sharp, so unshakable that 5 years from now, you don't recognize the person you were today. And when you get there, it won't be luck. It'll be because you showed up every day, like a boss when nobody else would. Now go build. Let's talk facts. Emotions are real. They're strong. They're human. But they're not what builds empires. You don't build something unshakable by following how you feel every single day. You build it by following a plan, a strategy, a blueprint that doesn't shift just because your mood did. Think about it. You're not always going to feel like grinding. You won't always feel motivated. Some days, you'll be tired, frustrated, uninspired. But if you only show up when you feel good, you'll lose to the one who shows up with a plan, no matter how they feel. Emotion reacts. Strategy responds. When you lead with emotion, you let every little thing throw you off track. Someone doubted you? You quit. You didn't get results in 2 weeks? You gave up. You had a bad day. You stop pushing. But when you move with strategy, you stay locked in. You understand that emotions are temporary, but your vision, that's forever. Empires are not built on feelings. They're built on structure, systems, thoughtful decisions, long-term moves. Yes, emotion can give you fuel. Emotion is your fire. But strategy is the wheel. It's the direction. It keeps you from burning out in circles. You can be angry and still move smart. You can be hurt and still move focused. You can be tired and still move precise. That's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs let emotions run the show. Professionals use emotion as fuel, but let strategy lead the way. Let's be real. You can't afford to be emotional about your goals. You can't afford to be reckless with your future. You need to be intentional, calculated, focused. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care so much. You refuse to let temporary feelings ruin permanent progress. Every great builder, every real leader, every person who's built something massive, they had moments of doubt. They had moments where they wanted to walk away, but they didn't. You know why? Because they didn't make permanent decisions based on temporary storms. They didn't burn the whole plan down because they were having a bad week. They stuck to the blueprint. They paused when they had to. They adjusted when they needed to. But they didn't quit just because they were in their feelings. And that's what you need to learn if you want to go all the way. You need to master the art of emotional control. You need to feel it, process it, but still move forward. That's emotional discipline. That's mental strength. It means you stop fighting every battle. You stop chasing every opinion. You stop responding to every little thing that doesn't go your way. Instead, you ask yourself, what does the mission need? What does the goal demand? Sometimes that means taking the high road. Sometimes that means staying quiet. Sometimes that means showing up with a smile, even when you're breaking inside, because your commitment matters more than your comfort. This isn't about being cold. This is about being calculated. If your vision is massive, your strategy has to be solid. You can't afford to be emotionally fragile when life punches you in the face. The world doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're upset. The world moves, and you either move with it or get left behind. So what do? You build systems. You build routines. You build a framework so tight that even when your emotions try to shake you, your structure holds you. You decide your non-negotiables. You create a schedule that supports your mission. You protect your peace. You keep your circle solid. You surround yourself with winners who remind you of your strategy when you forget. And most importantly, you trust the plan more than you trust the pain, because the pain will try to lie to you. It'll try to tell you to quit, to back down, to shrink. But the plan, the strategy, that's where your truth lives. That's where your power is. When life gets chaotic, strategy keeps you calm. When people start talking, strategy keeps you focused. When fear starts creeping in, strategy reminds you. You already know what to do. So here's the truth. Your emotions are valid, but they're not always accurate. Your feelings are important, but they're not always helpful. Your empire is too valuable to risk over mood swings and moments of doubt. So feel it, process it, use it if you can, but then get back to the mission. Because the greatest version of you is not built on how you feel today. It's built on the decisions you make despite how you feel. And the more you master that, the more dangerous you become. Because a person who moves with strategy, through pain, through pressure, through chaos, is unstoppable. The best moves are made in silence. Strategic thinkers don't tell everyone their next step. They make the step. They let the results talk. You don't need to post about the grind. Live it. You don't need to impress people who aren't even in your lane. Stay focused on your blueprint. Your power is in your discipline, your clarity, and your strategy. That's how you level up without burning out. That's how you separate from the crowd. So next time you feel like life is moving too fast, pause, zoom out, think, then move with power and purpose. Let's be real. If you were average, you wouldn't still be here. You wouldn't be watching this, listening to this, feeling this. You're here because something deep inside you knows you were built for more. Something inside of you refuses to settle. refuses to be ordinary, refuses to move like the rest of the world, chasing comfort and avoiding growth. Average people make average decisions. They stop when it gets uncomfortable. They quit when it takes too long. They let fear and excuses do all the talking. But not you. You're not average. And that means you can't think like you are. You can't move like them. You can't think short-term. You can't play small and expect massive results. Your mind has to match your mission. If you want to build something real, something that lasts, whether it's a business, your body, your mindset, your life, then you need to step with power, not doubt. You need to speak with purpose, not insecurity. You need to move with strategy, not emotion. People will try to pull you back. Your own mind might try to talk you out of your greatness. But this is where you draw the line. This is where you tell yourself, enough with shrinking, enough with delaying, enough with second-guessing who you are and what you came to do. You were built different. Now it's time to move different. It's time to believe in your potential so hard that nothing can shake it. It's time to trust your strategy so deeply that not even failure can stop you. It's time to stop playing small, stop playing scared, and start showing up like the beast you know you are. So here's the challenge. Start thinking like the version of you that already made it. Start talking like the version of you that's already free. Start walking like the one who's already won. Because the second you stop thinking average, your whole life changes. Now lock in. Believe bigger. Move smarter. Live louder. And never, ever forget, you weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out. Now go prove it. If this hit your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Like it. Subscribe. Drop a comment and tell us what you're chasing. Tell the world you're done playing average. This community is built for the hungry, the relentless, the strategic thinkers ready to dominate. Let's grow together. Let's build empires together. Let's keep pushing each other to levels we haven't even imagined yet. This is your time. No more average thinking. No more small moves. Only strategy. Only growth. Only forward. Let's get it.